did. Okay. Okay, so what is additionally there, okay, in Go charting, which is not there in a lot of other platforms, okay, and web-based platforms especially, is the ability to see profile charts. Okay, you may a lot of broker charts today, they allow profiles, etc. Just where you can see the profiles of both volume and market profile, but they show the cumulative profile. There are different types of profile. There's a cumulative profile, there is a session profile, and of course there is a fixed range profile. Okay, all these three charts are available. Basically different plotting of profiles are available in the Go charting platform. Okay, so if you see this is a market profile for 1 day, one session basically, and similarly on the right side, if you see, this is a volume profile. Okay, so so this volume profile is for a this volume profile, just a second. Yeah, this volume profile is for one session. This market profile is for one session. This volume profile is for one session, 1 day, etc. And the one on the side is called the cumulative profile. What is a cumulative profile? It takes sum of all the data that is there in the charts. For example, I want to see the total volume profile of the last 5 or 6 days. Then I'll just squeeze the zoom in or zoom out through the panel, and then be able to see the last 5 or 6 days charts here basically. Okay, and to be able to see the entire volume of last 5 or 6 days. So this clearly says that, okay, last 5 or 6 days, this is the maximum profile that has happened in this range. Okay, what it also does is the order flow analysis chart, which is probably the USP of this platform. Okay, what order flow analysis, you can see the footprint charts. There are 2 or 3 different ways of seeing the footprint charts. Okay, where you can see different side of bid ask information. I'll cover the details of footprint charts, order flow charts in subsequent slides. Okay, you can also see the time and sale sort of thing in the right side, where you can actually see the actual live trades happening. Okay, so how many, what is being bought and sold at different price points, you can see that. You can also see the orders that are there, but this for Indian market is not very useful, but for crypto and other markets this is very useful. The placed orders which are not traded but is available on the order book. So if you see, this is the orders at different levels from the current price which is there in the order book right now. So all the order flow related, DOM related, okay, footprint related, same terminology, different things. You can see that information, time and sales, order book, things like that. You can see it here. Okay. And then they have the broker execution supports. Okay, if you're connected to most of the brokers today, they have a link to be able to connect it, and you can basically trade from these charts itself. Okay, you can trade from these charts, and you should be able to trade and execute from these charts itself. So essentially analyze and be able to trade from here itself. Okay, then also what they have is the options desk. Okay, which is basically seeing the options data at different levels. Okay, so you can actually see the OI profile, which is very nice to see, where basically the open interest at different strikes from the current price on the call and the put side, you can see that. Then you, of course, you can see the options, typically the options strike wise, open interest and other things. Okay, and also you can do different kinds of payoff diagrams, etc. Okay, so this is also there. So it's a kind of a, you have futures data, you have stocks data, and you also have options data, which today is scattered across different platform, and you not have one source for all of them usually. Okay, so now I'll quickly cover into footprint charts, or understanding what are footprint charts, what it is, etc. Okay, so footprint charts, it is important to know how these charts developed, where it was developed, etc. So this was developed by a guy called Trevor Harnett, who used to run a company called Market Delta. Okay, and they created the footprint charts. So Trevor Harnett, what he did is, just a second, a lot of people are complaining they're not able to join, so I'll just inform them in the group. Okay, thank you. So okay. So what they are doing, what he did is, essentially he was the first guy who developed this chart. Somehow, for different reasons, the companies doesn't exist anymore. And they also had trademarked this thing. So it is known by different names in different platforms, but the information is more or less the same. Okay, it is known by order flow chart, cluster chart, imbalance chart, bid ask profile charts, etc. So don't get confused with the naming of this. Okay, the information is still the same. Okay, what does it represent? Okay, it represents the concept of essentially what is the volume traded at the bid side and the ask side. Or essentially, when you say bid and ask side, who volume traded, it breaks down the volume into market buyers and market sellers. Okay, that is the core information that it is, this chart represents, which is not available in a candlestick chart. When you see a normal candlestick chart, what do I see? Why I normally see, okay, this is the open, high, low, close, and this is the volume in the candlestick chart. That is the only information we are seeing, right? But when we see this, we are able to break down that volume and see, okay, out of this entire volume traded, let's say 100 lots have been traded in this candle. Out of the 100 lots traded, 70 lots have been from the market buyers and 30 lots have been from the market sellers. Okay, so when you have this additional information, what does it help you? It helps you to understand, okay, who are trying to dominate the market, who are trying hard to take the market down or market up. Okay, now next level of information, whether they're succeeding or not, this sort of analysis comes in at a later stage. But first is to even know and understand that, okay, in this candle, the buyers were dominant or the sellers were dominant, which is not available on the volume information that you see. Okay, so there are different softwares, okay, which provide this kind of charts. Okay, so it's not that only Go Charting does that. There are different softwares like Ninja Trader, etc. there. But where Go Charting scores above all of them, and I've used Ninja Traders, I've used other platforms, also, and so where it scores above all of them is number one. It is web based, so I can access it from web, mobile, etc. And like you have a lot of other web based platforms, but they will not have order flow charts information there. Okay. So number two, the templates are available. I have shared the templates. Go Charting shares the templates easily. So to set up all these charts is very easy. So if I want to set up an order flow charts in Ninja Trader or any other platform, it's quite a bit of a task. Okay, but here the set up these charts is very easy. Second, all market data is available in a subscription model, so you don't really have to configure different data providers, etc. All market data throughout the world is available. You have the Indian markets, you have the commodity markets, you have the global US markets, you have forex, okay, you have crypto, everything is there. Okay, that's where I think this is a good go-to platform for me. And I'm saying this having traded for 17-18 years now. Okay, so that is the thing. And now why order flow? Okay, if you look at any prop desk across the world who are actually genuinely day trading, genuinely doing trading size, okay, they rely on this as one of the most important go-to indicator, the DOM, the order book, etc. Okay, they don't rely on much on MACD, RSI, and all those things. They rely more on these kind of order flow, real-time indicators to understand what is the probability of price going up or going down. That's what you eventually want to find out, right? Okay, so this reflects the most real-time information that is happening in the market. Okay, so in terms of, and then be able to analyze real time, to be able to define a risk real time in a more better way. Okay, this is what it helps for. Okay, I'll show you examples also as we go along. Then just to also word of caution, okay, there's a lot of buzzword, and where a lot of trainers, a lot of market analysts, etc., try to complicate this. Okay, they will say it is a secret sauce, a lot of secret formula, they use some snappy words. Okay, I've seen some very unique words getting used, okay, for defining certain delta numbers, etc., and all that. But all that is not something that is very complicated. Don't complicate this. Try to simplify your trading. Try to simplify in terms of analysis, information, understanding. Okay. Most important thing is to build context to, which side I want to trade on. Don't try to complicate with different words, different indicators, etc. Try to simplify it. That will help in your trading, even if you are with Go Charting, not with Go Charting, but that will help you with your trading. Okay. What it represents is why this is something that most traders use globally, any professional traders use, is because it influences the most purest information of market participants in a real-time manner, right? So eventually everybody, you, me, everybody, the big institutions are trying to buy and sell at the market. Okay, and that buy and sell information is the most, let's say, atomic level, a smaller level information that it's trying to reflect and show you in that data. Okay, whenever a market buy or a market sell trade happens, it will it will show here. Okay, so it breaks down the trading activity within a candle. Typically you have a big 100-point candle, 50-point candle. It will break it down to show, okay, within that candle where exactly good trading happened, where exactly buyer dominated, where exactly sellers dominated. Okay, it is nothing like any other indicators. It's not an indicator. It's not a magic indicator like, okay, if I have this number, I buy. If I have this number, I sell. It's a market information, market data, You use that data, you combine with your analysis, and then improve your execution, improve your trading. Okay, what it shows, okay, I'll quickly see it shows the inside view of the market action in a candle. Okay, so normally when I see a candlestick, it is like this. Okay, it is like this, but when I break the same candle, it's the same candlestick on the right side. What I see the seller trades, all the side trades on the left side. I see all the buy side trades on the right side. Okay, that is how it is breaking it down. Okay, within that, okay, wherever is the most highest volume, I see it highlighted in a color. Again, this is all configuration in software. I don't have to color code it or do it. The software will do it. Okay, so I'm breaking the entire candle activity down into a sell side and a buy side trade. Okay, so this order flow as a technique is very good for any markets with high volume, high liquidity. Okay, that sort of a thing. It is used mostly in the futures market, any liquid commodities, any fixed income market. We don't have much fixed income trading in India, but it is used in any fixed income market globally where like the treasuries and etc. is also used. Okay, so any market with good liquidity, good volatility, low volatility, high volatility is pretty good to use and decipher this information. Then in FX, it is a bit tricky. Directly, if you're looking at not FX futures with FX spot from forex brokers, it is a bit tricky because there are multiple areas where FX gets traded. Commodities, it is good. Crypto, some exchanges which have good volume like Bybit, etc. The feeds are there, Binance, Bybit, etc. In Go charting, excellent reading of crypto data if you are getting into crypto trading. Okay, it is good. I'll also show you some of the information that is available from this. Okay, if I look at the candlestick data, generally I'm seeing what is the candle. Okay, green, blue candle, red candle, and then probably the volume inside it, right? What this additionally footprint, same candle tells me is more, okay, the volume, the candle type, the candle delta. Delta is what? It is the net of buyers minus sellers at this level. So net means what? Total number of buyers minus total sellers. So in this case, there is 40 million more buyers that happened in this candle than sellers. Okay, it tells you the candle POC. POC is nothing but called as point of control, which essentially means, where most of the buyers and sellers interacted. Okay, I'll just quickly show you on this side. Okay, just a second. And then, of course, it shows the candle volume at different zones. These are called zones or node, which you configure based on the instrument, the screen size, etc. I'll show you an example of how to do it for Nifty, Bank Nifty, or even some global markets. Okay. And then, of course, you will see the day delta and the relative change in delta, etc., which is like the cumulative delta, etc. Okay. So each of these zone or a node is called as a node. Okay, essentially what it does is, because a candle is consists of, let's say in Indian market, your tick size is 0.05. So if you have a 1 point candle, it is like 20 ticks, right? So if you do at a tick level, a candle is like probably 3,000, 4,000 ticks, and you cannot really put the data in a single chart that we have in our screens, right? So what it does is we combine those ticks into a certain logical numbers. For here, what I've done is I've combined 200 ticks into one node, one block. Okay, so I've done is 0.05 into 210. So that means what? A 10 point is one block in, for example, Bank Nifty or anything. Okay, now it is summing up of all the buy and sell within the 10-point range in each block. Okay, and showing you the data within that candle. So every 10 point is one block in this case. Okay, on the right side market buy, left side market sell, most volume with a color indicator like this. Okay, and this is what you see, and and the delta is basically the net of buy minus sell orders at a different level. Okay, total buy minus total sell. What is the volume? Total buy plus total sell is the volume of that candles. Okay, so all of this data, okay, you don't have to read or calculate or anything. It is available in something called as a bar statistics at the bottom of a bar. Okay, again, this is available in the charting platform itself. So always when you're seeing this chart, you should always try to add the bar statistics below. Okay, in bar statistics, what are the common things I use? I use the total volume, I use the delta of the candle, and I use something called as cumulative delta, which is basically the sum of the delta for that day. So every day the cumulative data will start at 0 and it will add up for every subsequent candle. So if the cumulative delta here was 145 and in this candle delta was 14.5 or 15, whatever you call it. So the cumulative delta will be 145 plus 15, 159. Okay, 160, whatever. Okay, so it will keep on adding up the cumulative delta. So if there are more buyers, the cumulative delta keeps on going up, up, up. If there are more sellers, the cumulative delta will start going down. Okay, we'll keep on adding the cumulative delta. Cumulative delta is a fantastic way of actually trying to understand order flow if you're new to order flow, and if this too much of data is very overwhelming for you, it is very difficult to understand, interpret, etc. One of the best ways to start trading and using order flow is cumulative delta. Okay, I have a very good I have a very good video that I created on how to use cumulative delta. If you have time, any time, just refer to that in the future and you'll just love it. Okay. I'll just show the chart setup after this. Okay, I'll just show the chart setup. Maybe you can take some questions and then I'll just show the chart setups. Okay. So any questions related to the chart setup, hold on. Okay, but the rest we can cover. Any questions if it is there. Okay, Hindi will do a separate session maybe. Okay, Hindi will do a separate session. Yeah, Hindi I think is there tomorrow itself because Angad just involved. Okay. It's possible to connect the broker chart. Okay. Caught high, caught low, I don't use very often. Okay, there are different reasons for it. But what I want to see caught high, caught low typically when I'm looking for a trend change, but generally I don't use it very often personally. Trading views. So I think there's no trade front connection here. So you have to sort of either connect your broker terminal and trade from it. Number one. Number two is you can connect the broker terminal. So you can connect your broker API. So there's no automation available at this point, but execution is available. Okay. Okay. Difference. Could you please? Yes, I'll post that link also. Okay, bar statistics is basically the summary of the bar information. Okay, on that chart. Okay, so you can have a lot of information on the bar statistics, almost 20 different stats. Okay, and but this thing, what do you call this? Your delta bar is just the delta of the candle. That's it. Okay. Yes, Nifty, Bank Nifty. I'll just share. Okay, I'll share this. Okay. Max delta, VK Raj, I just told you something. These max delta, min delta to buy, it is not an indicator. Please don't treat it like this. Okay. It's like asking कि अच्छा 200 पॉइंट के ऊपर आज निफ्टी गया तो बाई करना है क्या 200 पॉइंट से नीचे बाई करना है क्या that's not the thing we do, right? We will analyze whether at 200 point up it is still worth buying or not. Okay. Okay, crypto volume profile I'll quickly share, no problem. Yes. Okay. Okay, I'll share the charts. Okay, we will go to the charts then. Okay, I'll quickly go to the chart settings now. Then just a second. Uh, just a second. Okay, can you see this? Okay, you can see this. Okay. Yes. So let me start with some fresh charts for both. Actually, that will be easier. Okay. Just a second. So what I'll do is I'll just clone this chart. Okay. So this is Nifty. Okay. What I'll do is first of all show you. Uh, uh, yes. How to just quickly set up on the volume profile charts. Okay, so you can add the indicators from here. Okay, you can add the indicators from here, and then you can also select the chart type from here. Okay, so what we'll do is probably we'll delete all drawings and delete all indicators. Okay, so it's just the plain chart that you see. Okay. Yes, I'll discuss this IOC thing, Manish. Okay. So what you see here is the plain charts that you have, right? Okay. So first of all, let's say I want to set up the volume profile thing. I'll go to this. I'll go to order flow. There are two types of volume profile available. If you see, one is your volume profile tick, and one is volume profile. Tick is basically at a lower level of accuracy, which is better accuracy, and profile is mostly a higher, at a minute bar or a little more than that. Okay. So generally, if you're looking at long-term data, probably use volume profile. If you're looking at very short-term data, 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, then use this. Okay, I generally use this. So this is the volume profile tick. Okay. So what I've done is now how to set this up quickly is basically a couple of things. Okay. Value area 70%, which is basically value area is a concept of where most of the value is lying. So here essentially when I say 70%, it means 70% of the trading has happened in this region, and it is color coded differently. It's a profile concept, market profile, volume profile concept. So essentially what we are trying to do is we are saying that, okay, 70% of the, highlight me a region where 70% of the trading has happened. That is my most traded region in the market, typically the region. Okay. Now the most traded point is called the VPOC, which is highlighted in the red color if you see. Okay. So I have one value area, two I have VPOC. Okay. These are the two things that we are looking for. Okay. So value area, if you see, is this. Let me just use a different color, maybe. Value area, if you see, is this. Okay, is this here, and VPOC is this. Okay. Similarly, on the cumulative delta also, this is the value area for that cumulative delta, and the VPOC, which is essentially, if I see last 3-4 days, it means the most traded price is around 24,300. Okay, in Nifty, and this is what this information is giving. Okay. Now, now what we are trying to do is, okay, I'll just quickly cover the settings. I'll describe it come again. So here you can choose the frequency. For example, you want daily, you want monthly, you want weekly. So I have choose daily. You can choose weekly. So it gives the weekly profile. Daily gives the daily profile. You can just leave it auto essentially, where most of the it will, depending on the chart time frame, it will just select daily, weekly, monthly. Okay. Then orientation, whether you want the profile on the left or the right side. So you want the right side, you do left, right. Okay. Width is 50%. So how much do you want? So if you want the full coverage till this point, so I generally keep it at 50% because I don't like the entire range to cover my chart. So I'll keep it at 50%. Okay. Composite profile information. Now this is the main profile information on the session. The second section is, if you see, composite, which is this profile. Here I've kept it 20%. If I increase it, it will cover more chart area. So I don't want it to like overlap my entire chart area. So you can keep it at a 10 or a 15 or a 20% just to keep your charts clean, but the information is the same. Okay. And again, whether you want it right or left, and then what do you want to show? Total volume. You can show the bid ask also, which is buy and sell information. You can also show the delta, which is the net of buy and sell. The clearly here is where most of the selling happened. So in any price until it holds this level, you can say that, okay, it can be on the upside because the sellers are trapped here. Below this, you can say, okay, as sellers are dominating. Generally, I just keep the total volume here. Okay. So these are the typical settings on the volume profile charts. Okay. So now VPOC, I think Angad already explained, but VPOC is basically within the entire chart, whatever place where the most of the volume happened, okay, is the day or the session or anything is called the VPOC. So generally focus on the VPOC, also focus on certain HVN, because VPOC, is this, for example, here is the VPOC. Also, this is a very high traded volume today. Yesterday, again, this was a VPOC, but this was a high traded zone again. Okay. This was the VPOC here, if you see. This was the VPOC here, if you see. So anywhere where max volume happened during the day, that zone is highlighted in a line, which is VPOC. VPOC as a theory is something which will, you can say, attracts price. Okay, so price, because most of the volume happened here, price will tend to migrate towards the VPOC as a general thumb rule. General thumb rule, not something that will apply as a default rule, but in general, if you say, okay, if I'm looking for market price to target somewhere, I'll target the higher VPOC or higher value zones. Okay. Now this is the volume profile chart. Similarly, if you're doing volume profile, you can also do market profile. Okay, again, same place. Okay, you go to study, you go to order flow, and then you can just add the market profile chart. Okay, so this is the market profile chart. Market profile chart has certain different settings. I'll quickly cover it. One is, again, this thing daily session, etc. Then you can do color, you can do different colors. I have the duo color, you can do multicolor, you can do up down color. So green days are up, red days are down, something like that. Okay, but I just like a simple color. Then the good part is you can also highlight the open close area. You can also split this. So for example, I want to see yesterday's profile as a cumulative thing, but today's profile, I just want to split the information into profile chart, so I can split this. So here it is split. If you shut this off, it will just show the profile. Okay. If you do the split, it will show the split. Okay. Okay. Again, you can choose whether to split all or generally all is not recommended. Generally, this is a good setting to see the candlestick structure of today alongside the profile, and then the profile of the other days. Basically, that's a good way to go. Okay, value area can be highlighted here. Okay, so for example, this is the value area. Then the POC can be highlighted here. So I have the POCs marked. If you see white line POCs, actually, unfortunately, it is white line, but you can change the color here if you want. So I made it black now. Now, if you see the POC line is all black. Okay, and value area outside region is to be color coded in a different color. So I have white, so you're not able to see it. I can change it to, let's say, gray. Okay, and just a second. Okay, just a second. This is covering this value area basically. So how much value area do you want to see? So you can also change the transparency here. So if I don't want it to, so I can just make it less transparent or more transparent just to have a good visual way. Okay. Then you can also highlight the initial balance, which is a common concept that we want to see. What is the initial balance? I can just select it here. Okay, and then you can also do a range extension basically of the initial balance. So if you see every day, it will highlight this initial balance in terms of the initial balance. So in those things you can see. You can highlight single prints in a structure, so it will really pick up the single prints wherever it is there, and be able to draw resistance and support lines. For example, single prints are being drawn as resistance and support lines. Okay, and then there's something called as prominent POC, which is basically trying to where did I see, yeah, where, if there are multiple POCs concentrating in a region. Okay, this is called as a prominent POC. Basically, if multiple POCs, etc., are concentrated in region, you can highlight it prominent POC. So prominent POC is something which has a more weightage compared to the normal POC. Okay, because more volume and things have traded here. Okay, you want to see the composite, you can show the composite on the right side. Okay, because the color settings, I think I'm not able to completely see it, but here is the composite. You can change the color of that. You can do it. You can choose the type of how you want to see linear, step, etc. Normally, linear histogram is the most common thing. Okay, then you can do the color selections here inside and outside value area, those sort of things. You can do that. Okay, here and what else? I think these are the typical settings of the volume profile and market profile chart. What we'll do here is I'll just select volume profile. This is what I'm using. I'll also try to cover here on the footprint charts, which is another. Okay, yeah, footprints will cover because that is something you'll be interested in. So in this chart, before I delete everything, I'll just quickly show you what it is. Okay, this is called the cluster chart. Okay, you can choose different chart types. This is called the cluster chart. Where do you choose different chart types? You choose from here on the top left corner. You have two different mainly order flow chart types, which is imbalance chart and cluster charts. Okay, the information is the same. It is just that they are represented in two different ways. That's all. Okay, in cluster charts, I have the information of bid ask and that delta. Here I've kept those information. In imbalance chart, you'll have different information, which is I'll just show, which will have bid on the left and the ask on the right side. Okay, so what information I'm capturing here? If you see, I'm capturing a couple of things. I'm capturing the bid and the ask. So bid on the left, ask on the right. Bid means the sellers on the left, the buyers on the right. Okay, and then I'm capturing the total delta which has been created at different levels again. Okay, that is what I'm capturing. I'm having the bar stats in the section below. Okay, which is basically the volume delta and the cumulative delta, which I mentioned to you. I'm also doing a volume profile here. Okay, which is on the left side. I marked the volume profile. So if you see, this is a cumulative profile. As I change the more chart data into the chart, the cumulative profile is changing. So I've just kept the cumulative profile, and I've just kept the view of bands as well. Okay, so all this is available on this indicator thing, and you can keep on adding the indicators. So I have these different view of bands, etc. Whatever indicators I don't want, I'll switch it off. For example, I want to see the market profile, I'll switch it on, I'll switch it off. Okay, whatever I don't want, I'll just switch it off. Okay, and then okay, bar stats. Okay, okay. In bar stats, if you see, what you have is this thing. Okay, where do you see all the indicators and layouts? You see it here. Okay, and you can also change the order of the indicators here. For example, I want the charts above everything else, so I'll just pull the cluster at the top. If I want the charts to see above everything else, I pull the cluster at the top. This is at the top, this is at the bottom. Okay, that's how you see the order basically. Okay, for example, I don't want to, and with bar stats also, these are the information that is available. And now in bar stats, wait, just a second. Okay, in bar stats, if you want to, let's say, configure and change certain things, where do you do it? You go to the bar stat settings at the bottom, which is here, and you can add so many data points here. Okay, there's so many data points available. You can say total buy happened, max buy, total volume, delta percentage, sell percentage, max delta, min delta, cumulative delta, caught high, caught low, okay, point of control, VWAP, etc. So it is basically all the data for the candle that is available. These are the 20, 30 data points that are available. You can just keep on adding it here, okay, for in bar stats. So I just use 3 for now, okay, and that is good enough. You can probably use the delta percentage if you want to indicate how much delta has happened, in that link, etc. Okay. Now, one thing is, when you do order flow settings, it is very important to understand how much data do I want to see in a node. Okay, so in one thumb rule is in Nifty. Okay, one thumb rule is in Nifty. You generally, I'm trying to put in 2 to 3 points in one range. What is 2 points basically? If you see, I mentioned at the start of the video, the India stick size is 0.05. Okay, so 0.05 into, if I do 20, that is equal to 1 point. Okay, so if I do 40, that is equal to 2 point. If I do 100, that is equal to 5 points, right? Okay, so what we'll do is, okay, what we do is here, basically go here, and I in the settings, when in the settings, you go to something called as the order flow section. Okay, in the top right settings. Okay, there you combine. So for example, I have made it 40. Okay, for Nifty. For Bank Nifty, I'll do 100. Okay, now what do? You increase it. If your markets are very volatile, if Nifty is doing a 500-point day, or then 40 will not work, because my monitor size is limited, right? Okay, so I'll try to, then in that case, I'll make it 100. Then it will take in more 5 points in one range basically. Okay, Bank Nifty, then I'll move to 200 probably, which is basically 20 points in one range. Okay, so that way, because the markets are volatile. If the markets are very slow, then I'll reduce it. I'll make it 20, which is basically 1 point in one range. Okay, so depending on how the markets are moving, you have to sometimes tune this. But thumb rule is 40 for Nifty, 100 for Bank Nifty works most of the time, 80% of the time. Okay, and if the screen is big, you can make it, you can have more data. If the screen is big, you're using a big screen, then you can reduce this. If your screen is small, you're using a small laptop screen, etc., then you might want to make it, from instead of 40, use it as 60. Okay, that's how you visually see what is best suited for you. But this is a thumb rule. Okay, don't use auto. I sometimes feel not to use auto. Auto is a good shortcut, but what happens is, auto will essentially, depending on the screen size, it will squeeze in the zones and everything. The only problem when you use auto, I felt, is that then you lose context of what got traded. If I use auto, and if I zoom in and zoom out, these numbers will start changing. Okay, so you lose a bit of context of what has changed basically. Okay, so that's why you not use auto. Okay, now, okay. So zero at sell side means basically, there is no bid and ask activity that has happened. Okay, it is also represented sometimes as a finished auction. You can call it. Okay, in those settings, footprint chart settings, you can configure from here. Okay, you can configure from here. So if you see footprint chart settings, what I've done is I've done the candle as narrow. How to get this view, for example, I've done a candle to be on the left side. I have on the left side. Okay. Then what I've done is, I want to use double columns, which is basically I want to use double columns, which is basically two column data. So one on the first column, I've put bid and ask, okay, which is bid ask, bid ask, bid ask, which is sell by, sell by, sell by. Yeah, I'll just cover for BTC also. And on the right column, I have used the total delta, which is the delta here. Okay. Okay, I'm also showing the imbalances, which is basically whenever there is X number of more buyers than sellers. What is X for me? I've kept a ratio of 200. I can generally 200 and 300 is a good imbalance number. For example, if I make it 300, so every time there is 300 more buyer and seller, it will be highlighted with a color. Okay, so blue or red basically on the imbalance side. Okay, if there are two or three imbalances together, it will be highlighted with a support or resistance zone. Okay. So that is how it will be highlighted. Okay, I'm also marking the POC, which is basically the POC here, okay, of the candle. And then of course the volume POC and the POC are largely the same thing. You can have it. Okay, yeah, I'm also marking the value area of the candle itself, which is basically if I see, I've just marked it, but I've made it a very light gray just to have a visual idea of where the value is. When there are large candles, I can see actually the value area within the candle. Okay, and you can also have the markers. One good marker to keep is the delta marker. Basically, just on top of each candle, it will show the value of the candle delta, so that even if you're not using bar stats because of lack of screen space, you can have the marker here itself. Okay, okay. Okay. And then uh, I think pretty much this. Okay, you can also highlight actually the unfinished and finished auction. If you're using it, don't use it as an indicator, because the accuracy of this alone as an indicator is not very high. If you combine it with certain factors, then it is good. But basically, if there is a unfinished auction, it will keep on highlighting it. So, for example, there was an unfinished auction, then eventually there was zero here, it became a finished auction. Okay, this is a market profile concept. Okay. So I'll meanwhile, okay. I see trade details. We'll talk in little. Let's talk chart settings and other things. Okay, trade will, that's a separate topic altogether. Let's not get into that. We'll do a separate webinar for that. But just quickly cover the chart and then we'll show you some examples. Okay, please. The other thing is the imbalance chart. Imbalance chart is basically nothing but seeing the same information on the left and the right side. So basically, if I just a second. What imbalance is doing for me is basically on the left side I have the sellers and the right side I have the buyers. Okay, so that's it, the same information just in a different level, nothing else, but the value and everything is good, is the same information. Okay, imbalances are highlighted in color codes. You can change the color codes here. Similarly, if there are more than two or three imbalances, they will show with a support or resistance band. You can also see that. Okay, you can also highlight the VPOX here, typically, which I have done that. And no special settings on the imbalance. Basically, if you see, again, the weather issue, what imbalance. So, for example, if you want to see imbalance, I don't know why it was 300. So, I made 300 here. Okay. So, every time there's, so if you see this was an imbalance, stuck buyers and eventually market got rotated from there. Okay. Similarly, these levels, when price crosses an imbalance level, expect this to be support. When price fails to cross this an imbalance level, expect this to be resistance. Okay, and then you can change the color. So if from white to black, black to white, different colors, those sort of things. Again, POC, etc. You can do. There's an interesting thing here, extend if volume. So if you see view POC, I don't want to see all the POCs. I want to see very specific POCs where large volume traded. So there's an option to extend POC when a volume is greater than, let's say, 1 lakh. So what it does is only when there are large volumes, then only I want to see POCs. If I make it larger, I'll also see very specific list. So there's nothing to only, there are a couple of POCs here at 2 lakh if you see. Otherwise, I'll just see very low, a lower number of POCs. That's a good way of filtering out information to say that, okay, very less volumes have been initiated. Okay. You can again see the value area of the candle here. Okay, you can mark the view up, delta, and other things. Okay, My personal preference generally has been so far to use the cluster charts. I think I get the information that I want, but you can use either the cluster or the volume profile chart, whatever you really like. Okay. And one thing I think the questions before we jump onto some trade themes. Okay, one of the questions we wanted to cover is on the crypto settings. I'll cover that and just probably cover some trade themes then. Okay. So we are looking at BTC USD, let's say. So it is important you decide which exchange you want. So for example, I said Bybit BTC data is very good. Okay, so once you have this, okay, this is BTC USD on Bybit. Okay, and I have the setting here is at 40. It is at 5 minute candles. It is 40. If I'm increasing the candle, I'll probably increase it. Okay, so basically 20 points in Bybit is my one cluster here, which is good. You can make it to probably 60 if you want. Okay, if you want more information, content, you can probably make it to 60. Okay, and one thing I want to show you because Indian markets are off, but you can actually see the global markets. So that on Bybit, if you see the depth of the market data is available. Okay, so basically if you see all the orders and everything on the right side, you see this, it is live market that is trading and you can actually see this. Okay, the entire order and everything, the depth of the market is available. And then you can also see the trade book, which is basically the trades that is happening, so at different levels. And within trade book you can also filter the information. So what I sometimes do is I'll apply a filter, so only show me trades more than 10,000. Okay, so when I apply this filter, it will only highlight trades more than 10,000, and depending on the instrument you have to change it. So for example, now I see Bybit, okay, more volumes are happening, probably I'll make it 20,000. Okay, and it will only show me trades which are more than 20,000 now in value. Okay, those sort of things you can see. You can also see the order book, but like how many orders are at present at different levels. Okay, those things you see. But trade book is a good information to see, pick up market momentum. There's a short video once I think I created for trade book market momentum also. But yeah, these data is all available because it's a global market. This is on I'm showing you. You can, when Indian markets are on also, you can see those data. Okay. So try to see the Bybit futures chart. It is pretty good. Okay, if you're into crypto. Okay, and okay, we'll go back to application. Okay, we'll do that. Actually, was it possible to know when I stop because pullbacks, but goes in the desired direction? For example, there are hints you can get. Of course, I think there are much better hints you can get on order flow data than on any other thing. Best, we will actually discuss that. Okay, let's discuss one example. For example, Nifty today. Nifty, one of the reasons, okay, I think, and nothing to boast of it or anything. I think today I had a plan. If there's a gap down, there's a good chance of market pulling back. Okay, and some people who know, and I shared this also actually. Okay, so pre-market I shared that there's a chance of market pulling back. What is the reason for that? Okay, there are a couple of things. First is to build context based on the volume profile and anything. Okay, the reason, if you see last few days, your volume has been in this region, right? If you see, this is where the most of the volume has been, right? So if there's a gap, okay, tomorrow, what happened yesterday? Yesterday market did this and pulled back and closed at a higher level. So generally it made a higher low, which was much higher than this week low, and it pulled higher, right? Eventually and closed at a reasonably okay level, not bullish, but reasonably okay level. Okay, now what happened today? Today, my expectation is there is a gap. We have a chance of pulling back. There are a couple of reasons why. Yesterday was a good close. Second, we are pulling outside the value, so there will be an attempt to push back into a value. So if now when I have made a plan, or when I plan when I saying that okay, I think market can pull back if this happens. Now I think doesn't mean market will pull back. Okay, I think means market can pull back. Now I'll start observing the order flow data to see whether there's a possibility of it or not. Okay, so let's go to the opening candles, okay, on Nifty. Okay, this is the Nifty opening candle, guys. Okay, the first 5 minute candle. Okay, what do I see here? What do you really see here in the Nifty opening candle? And what is happening here? Okay, there are two things happening. A huge amount of selling. Delta इसमें कितना है? Minus 54K. Next candle another minus 50K. So 100K of sellers got sold in the market right at the open first 10 minutes. Okay, that is a very crucial information. जो मुझे candlestick में, where I'll not get this information in candlestick. Okay, I'll just see some volume that has happened. I do not know what has happened in that volume in a candlestick information. I know, I do not. So, but here I can clearly see was 100K delta got traded in the first 10 minutes on the sell side, short side. Who are these guys? Okay, these are guys who either panicked and exits the long yesterday. Okay, number one. Number two, these are guys probably who think market will crash and they sold it open. Okay, it could be any of these, right? Okay, but now the important aspect comes is, okay, listen here carefully, is what is my price reaction to that? Is the price reaction, okay, market falling? Is the price reaction market holding? Market doing something else? What do I see? Where is this volume traded? I see the maximum delta here, all the red bar visually I can immediately see. I don't have to see the numbers also. I can just see the length of the bars and I can immediately see maximum delta has got traded here. Similarly, next candle, maximum delta has got traded here. Okay. So out of the 100K delta, most of the short side delta are below what? Are below my this level of 24,320. Okay. 230, sorry, 230, 24,230. Okay. So this is a clear clue that most of the people are shorting market below 230 futures, some spot level, I don't know, but let's say 230 futures. Okay. Now what has happened? Okay, what has happened? Okay, in that, so now I have to analyze whether these sellers are being successful, they are getting trapped, or there's something else happening, right? Okay, when something like 100K happens, okay, market has to react with a much larger price movement. Market will immediately fall, something happen. But this did not happen. Market probably, it opened, I think this was the open, right? This was the open at 230. And after 10 minutes, this was the close. So if you see the net close in price is zero, almost zero. So despite 100K of selling, my net price movement is almost zero after 10 minutes. Okay, it's a doji candle probably on the 10-minute chart. Okay, that is a clear clue that all this selling has been soaked, has been absorbed by somebody. This is what we call an absorption in an order flow concept. Okay, so all this selling has been absorbed by somebody. That means what? There are big institutional players who probably are sitting at this level and buying all the selling. Why this level? What is the confidence? This level was also around the week low, yes, the day for yesterday, the budget day, I think. Okay, and then there was no volume traded at this level, so basically there is no seller strength below this level. Okay, there's a good confluence of volume. So all I'm trying to do is now we have to see whether price above this VPOC or price above this candle, and there's a long opportunity to trade on the upside. Okay, see, so this hopes answers different areas of absorption, order flow, using order flow, trade kaise lete, all the questions I saw. Okay, view up is one standard deviation, Saikath, yes. There's view up plus one. Okay, both sides. So this addresses all the consequences. Once this happen, where do I target? I'll target, one target would be this value zone from yesterday. Another target will be this value zone from VPOC from yesterday. Eventually, if you see price topped out at the VPOC from yesterday, exactly at the top, almost there. Okay. So price pulled back into range, price pulled back there, went to the VPOC of yesterday and paused there. Okay. So now how do I build a plan for tomorrow? Tomorrow, what do you want to do? You want to see where most of the volume was traded today. This area, if you see, sorry, this area is where most of the volume has happened, right? This area. Okay. And also there's a confluence where, the candle has sort of held this area, right? Basically candle went this, sorry, my bad. Okay. Candle went this and now it is closing here. So tomorrow what I want to say is, in case of a gap down, I want this level to hold 350, 350, anything to hold. If then I expect prices to pull up and eventually probably even test there. In case of, okay, alternatively price, if there is no strong buying above this level because there is no volume here and prices try to come back here, I look for a rotation back to this level and even actually up to this also. Okay. So these are the two rotation things we'll say. In case of a gap down, I want the top of this range to hold, which is about 420, 430 levels. I want the top of this range to hold. Okay. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Okay. I think we are at the top of the hour. We'll take some questions and then probably wrap up. Okay. And we'll do subsequent sessions, I think. Okay. So Manish, I shared an example for Nifty right now, actually. I don't know if you saw this. So you use the same concept for any other stock also. Okay, use the same concept. I shared the example, here for Nifty. So IOC or anything, you would have used the same concept. So, one summary is, guys, okay, is form your plan, okay, form your plan, form your view of market, maybe right, wrong, based on volume profile, market profile, CPR, resistance, or view of whatever you do, okay. And then do the execution with an order flow confidence. View up settings, what I have is this, okay. It is HLC 3 session and then 1 1. Just I'm using one standard deviation. Chaitanya will cover that options thing in some other day. Maybe it will be a big topic on its own, but we'll cover that options thing. Okay. Okay. Enabling cumulative volume again. Cumulative volume. One more thing, actually. Yeah, two things I want to talk about quickly before I wrap up. Cumulative volume. How you do is go to the volume profile, and there's an option for composite profile. So if you kind of put off or put on, you see the composite profile on the right side. Okay. Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is, which I missed somehow, is adding delta bars, which is the one, there's a video on delta bars. Have a look, sort of cumulative delta. That's the best way to get started if you're new to order flow. Okay, so this is called as delta bar. So essentially, what it means is, uh, it starts at zero every day. If you see every day, it starts at zero, and then it adds up the delta bars for for the entire day over a period of time. Okay, so here you can clearly see two things today. Okay, number one, initial sellers in the delta in Nifty. Okay, if I just show you the delta bars on a larger screen like this compared to the price. So all we are trying to see is, even for simplicity, I'll put up the volume profile. Okay, all you're trying to see the reaction of delta with price. So if you see, initially there was a lot of selling, price is holding. So there's a divergence. Second, eventually a lot of strong buying delta, price goes up. So delta and price in sync is a good way to predict a trend move in the market for that day. Okay. Now, if you see, every time price was falling back a bit, every time price was falling back a bit, there were moments when price was falling back a bit, right? Here a bit, here a bit, here, and then here. But the reaction on delta was not very big. Okay, so delta was not really, so the sellers were weak at every level. It meant the sellers are weak. Essentially, what it meant is they're not able to really form a good selling candle to pull the market up, and hence down, and hence market eventually held those levels today. Okay, market eventually held those levels today. Okay. So if there is a large order block that happens, okay, so if there's a large order block that happens, and a trend or anything, that there's a large absorption and prices can pause there and it will be marked with a VPOC in that candle, specific candle, right? So once price is not able to hold that VPOC or the value area of that specific large candle, that prices will pull back basically on the other side. So try to see the VPOC of that candle and try to see the value of the candle. Okay. Any more questions? So this is largely most of my setup. Okay, that I use. I use the volume profile. I use the order flow on the right side. That's it. Okay. Just a second. I'll post the chart link. You guys wanted something. Yes, I have a Telegram community called called FNO Traders. Okay, have a look at it. There's a lot of real time discussions happened on the markets on that. Okay. So I'm sure you love it actually. Okay. I'll also share the chart link, okay, of how to sort of trade with this thing. There's a YouTube channel called FNO Traders as well, where all these videos are there. I'll share you one of the link of using, using order flow information, and that will be very useful for you guys. Okay, for cumulative delta. I'll just share the link. Just a second. I'm not able to find that particular. So there is also a video on using COT actually. Okay, so you can also use that if you want. Just a second, guys. Okay, or maybe you can post it later on. That's not important. Okay, so but have a look at that, and of how to get started with. If you're new to order flow information, the one of the easiest and the best way to get started is to try and use a cumulative delta. It gives you a very new perspective of okay, how to see the markets and whether delta is increasing, delta is decreasing. Basis that whether you want to have a have a bias on which side basically. Okay, so I'll probably share it on the chat here. Okay, I'll share the chart link also if it's useful, probably, just copy it. I'll share the chart link on the chat as well. You can just copy and save it. I think that is the most beautiful thing on Go Charting. You just take a template, copy it, save it. Okay, and you can make it on your own. Okay, guys, anything else? I think we are good otherwise. And Angad, you want to end with something?
Thank you, sir. Sorry, I have to take back host control from you. I think you cannot talk anymore. Can you? Perfect. Oh, yes, you can.
You can.
Thank you, sir. That was a great introduction to Orderflow. So now what I'm going to do is actually take you guys through a few resources that sir have created. First, go to their YouTube channel. I'll post the YouTube channel link. Okay. Let me just and subscribe to his community so that you don't miss it. So this is the link. I'm posting it in the chat channel. Everyone wake up and take these notes down. This is the YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Check under the playlist section. There is a and this is for English speaking folks. Obviously, there are Hindi videos on the Go Charting YouTube channel that you can go and check under playlist section. Okay, but this is one link, and then again in Telegram, search for FNO traders. Okay, search for this. Chart link is just above. He's posted it. I think has he? Yeah. Wait. I'm reposting the chart link here. Okay. So three things you have to do. First, if you want to continue learning this type of content, go to his channel, subscribe to his channel, and then watch all of the videos. Second, go to his Telegram channel. It's all free. He's done this for the last few years, day in day out, without expecting anything out of it. So there's no ulterior motive behind it, right? There is nothing else to it than to purely for the sake of sharing information and making good professional traders out of them. He's constantly been providing value to the Indian futures community. Go check out the Telegram channel. Subscribe to it. He shares his day's plan daily. So initially, when you find this hard to use, you can use his analysis as a crutch and try to match it. So I'll share a small story about me. A few years back, when I met Sir, what I did was essentially I used to have a plan what I'll do the very next day, and then I used to early in the morning I used to wake up early and I used to wait for Sir's plan to be posted. As soon as he used to post his plan, I used to match it with myself and try to understand where I'm lacking, where I'm not, what did I miss, what is he thinking and how I am thinking. And eventually within a month or 2 months time, I was good enough, at least 80% over there to prepare a plan by myself and actually trade the plan by myself, because this is very important and you guys need to understand this. Even though there is even though sir helps and shares his analysis every day in the morning, do not use it as a way to, be not responsible for your own trading. Okay, so don't be reliant, essentially, is what I'm saying. Yes, it's a good way to learn from others, but first trade your plan, and to trade your plan you have to first make your own plan, then look at sir's plan in the morning in the Telegram community, and then try to understand what is his market outlook and what is your market outlook. And eventually, if you do this for the next 60 days, day in day out, I am pretty sure your trading will at least uh, improve by 20 to 30%, where you can remove levels, where you can, understand where you should be taking an entry and where he took an entry and exit or stuff like that. Okay, keep a watch out for both of these channels. Again, first go watch all the content, and then use his templates. The template link is in the chat box that I've posted it. Copy it, right? And third, subscribe to his Telegram community. It's free. Go try to learn order flow as much as you can, and we will have sir again in a week or two to take the next probably session about key things about cumulative volume delta. What is absorption? What is exhaustion? What are some key terms that we use in order flow? How to catch a reversal, some strategies, a breakout strategy, or just an analysis. We can do a small session, sir, in like 30 minutes, probably next week, just to analyze what we've learned today. All right. Having said that, thank you for joining at this late hour. I hope this was good learning for you guys. If you want this type of content to come, please do send us feedback. We are more than happy to, adapt to what you guys require. Okay. I understand. One more thing I understand is that uh, it may seem a little bit overwhelming, and it may seem a little bit too complicated. It may seem a little bit too fast today, but trust me, if you just keep learning and keep watching these videos, keep absorbing this knowledge again and again and again, at the end of the day, if you ask me, sir, or any order flow trader, there are only 5 to 6 core things that you need to learn to be able to start interpreting what is happening in the market. And then eventually we'll start seeing some patterns, some regular patterns, some regular ways to trade in the market using these tools. Okay, but first you have to do your homework. Second, you have to practice, and then by the time you do this for 2 to 3 months, then I guarantee you that there will be a different way you will look at the markets. The perspective will change. Okay. um See you guys. Take care. Thank you, sir.